it's Siobhan Muir. Welcome back to Cooking with Siobhan. So we're focused on, I don't know if you can tell by the ears, but we're focused on Easter recipes. And years ago, when my grandmother was still alive, she and her church friends, and including the husbands too, so this wasn't just women, put together a cookbook of sharing our best, celebrating 25 years of growing together in Christ. They were Lutheran, it was their thing. But the recipes were pretty good, and my grandmother offered a few of her own. And so every now and then I'll be reading through it and I'm going, hey, that's my grandma. But today, thanks to Cindy Michaels, we are going to be making San Juan scones. Now, I grew up in the Seattle area, and the San Juan Islands were the islands that were right off, they were in the Puget Sound, they were up north off of Washington's coast. And so we spent a few lazy summers in the San Juan Islands. So we're making San Juan scones. And bonus, we're making them gluten-free because that's what we do. So the first things that you are going to need for your San Juan scones are 3 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. That is just the dry ingredients that you're going to put together. So let's do 3 cups of flour. And again, we're using Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free baking flour. And again, this is a regular recipe that we are translating. And we're also, the other thing is this recipe originally calls for currants, which are kind of like, they're like a cranberry raisin sort of thing. And they're kind of on the tart side. And what we're doing instead is we're going to use lemon zest that we've already hydrated. If you want to know what the conversion is, it's 1 teaspoon of dried lemon zest to a tablespoon of water, and then you just let it sit to rehydrate. So that's what we're doing. And then you get about a tablespoon of lemon zest. So into that 3 cup of flour, you need 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So these are the dry ingredients that once you combine them all, you will whisk them together. And that's what I'm doing. I'm whisking them together. Oh, I guess the recipe starts with preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 204 degrees Celsius. So make sure everything's mixed pretty well together because you want to evenly distribute it. Into that, you're going to cut up 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter, cold butter, into 1/2 inch pieces.
I gotta dice it.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is why that's why the cutting board's here.
I see.
Yeah, that's just fine. The idea is to break it up into small enough pieces that you can actually start using a pastry cutter or even a knife. You can start cutting the butter up into the mixture.
Okay, little squares there, little squares there.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to take all these little squares and you're going to throw them in here, and then you're going to use the pastry cutter.
It's almost perfect too.
Good job. You're going to crumble them apart.
All right, fine. Happy now?
Yeah, little pieces. Little pieces. The whole point of cutting them into little pieces was to make them little pieces. Yeah.
Help you with the other.
Oh, really? You can't help me with the other? You're the one who threw them in there. My goodness. Sorry, Mom. I'm just going to throw them in there and you get to peel them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, damn. I tried.
So what I'm going to do, while she's peeling them apart and throwing them in here, I am going to start working the butter into the dry ingredients to make them crumble. Because what you're trying to make, we're trying to make a pastry dough of sorts. it's not gonna be complete pastry dough. We're not doing phyllo dough and all them fancy things. We want to make it a crumbly mixture. This is also, if you've had a really rough day, this is a great way to work out some of your aggressions. Like, oh, you're just gonna make this difficult. It works great.
Satisfactory.
No, it's better than fudge. It's better than fudge. You're wondering what we're talking about. Years ago, my brother said, "Hey, have you ever heard of the word fudge? F-A-D-G-E." And I went, "No." And I'm a wordsmith, which is kind of weird. And I said, "What does fudge mean?" He says, "Satisfactory." So instead of saying, "Oh, that was satisfactory," you can say, "That was fudge." And every time I hear the word, I laugh out loud. So now it's like, fudge, dude. Really fudge.
Until you meet me, then I'm like, satisfactory.
And then I go, "Oh, you mean fudge?"
Satisfactory.
I think he found it in the Oxford Dictionary, actually. So it's an old English word, fudge.
Now my hands are all white.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Pretty crumbly, huh?
Yeah.
So this is what it's kind of going to look like. You can see the lumps in it. You want the lumps. That's important. Because it's chunks of butter mixed with the dry ingredients. It says, beat the egg with the milk and add all at once to the flour mixture. Again, this is back in a time when people said, just do the work and it'll be fine. They don't tell you how. It's kind of those, remember that recipe is like, add it. Thanks.
Do this, add that, mix here, bake until this, good luck.
So you're going to need a half cup of dried currants if you want to. We're doing the lemon zest, right? You're going to need 1 egg. You're actually going to need 2, but 1 egg. And 3/4 of a cup of milk. Now, because we're doing gluten-free, we're actually doing a full cup of milk. A lot of the gluten-free, especially the Bob's Red Mill, is rice-based. Rice soaks up a lot of liquid. So you need kind of a little extra liquid.
We might need to add another.
We might need a little more. We're going to start with 1 cup.
1/4 cup.
Yeah. We already have, we might need a cup and a half. We'll have to see. Right now we're starting with a single cup to make sure that it works. But first we need to mix them together. So I have a cup of milk here, right here. Here's a cup of milk. Ta-da. Again, we might need to add more because it's gluten-free. And then I'm gonna add the egg. By the way, my eggs have been sitting out, so they're all at room temperature. It's true. All right, and I'm gonna start slow because I don't want it to go poof, yeah. Which will be very exciting for a very short time.
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen.
What does it say? Beat or just beat lightly or what? No, it just says beat egg with milk. I gotta love these old recipes that beat egg with milk. So I'm going to beat it for a little while, like
That's good.
about that, right?
I love these things. It's like, do this, good luck.
Right, they don't tell you anything. And then it said, add everything together at once and process or stir until mixture comes together in a sticky mass. Or
Yeah.
stir just until. Okay, so this is where they start saying things like, you just want it combined. You want it to be sticky and just combined because you want it to be kind of fluffy. This is all the recipe, that's it.
I know.
That's it. I mean, I'm telling you, they are really bare bones, just get it done. Oh, wait. This is not in the recipe. I want a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, so then we're gonna add it all at once because that's what it said. Okay, so we want to make this a sticky mess. Wish granted. That's all you need. You don't want to overdo it, but you do want it sticky and not powdery. And right now it's still powdery. So I added 1/8 of a cup.
Okay. And
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not all of it, just a little
I'm
bit.
not going to do all of it. How about that?
Yeah, try that. Again, sometimes with these gluten-free flours, you have to kind of, try and, yeah, I think that's enough. So what does the recipe say now?
Transfer mixture to a work table and knead briefly to form dough. Divide dough in half and pat into 5-inch circles. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Cut each circle into 6 wedges and arrange wedges on an ungreased baking sheet.
Now, what I will do to tell you this is that we will cut it in half and we will work it on the thing, but we will not put it on an ungreased baking sheet. We will put it on a baking sheet with parchment paper. It makes it easier for cleanup. It also keeps things from sticking. We booby hatched ourselves.
Did we?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Look above your head. So we're not putting the lemon zest in it.
Oh well.
Hey, at least I remembered the vanilla.
Hey! That's... Oh well.
You know what? The recipe doesn't call for anything. The currants were optional. So I think we're just gonna leave our lemon zest over there. That's probably more than enough. Okay, so
Time to be a cat.
time to be a cat.
You need to clean it. No? Okay. Damn. I was real excited for that actually.
Oh, you thought that was gonna work?
Yeah, I was pretty confident it was gonna work.
And I'm just doing it really gently because the other thing with gluten-free flour is you don't really want to knead it very much.
Otherwise, it gets really dense really fast.
It does, and then you lose all loft and stuff. And then they said circles. Is that how they said? Divide dough in half and pat into 5-inch circles.
That is, wait, isn't that 5 inches like right there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. That's why I'm like. And then they said cut into little wedges, right?
Oh, this makes sense. Okay, so they wanted you to take all the dough and form it. Split it in half and put those two into 5-inch circles. You just basically did 2 steps in one. So now we have to divide this into 6.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to divide it in half and then work one at a time. You can, and then cut it in half. Either way, you're gonna end up working it. And this was just enough that this I know is exactly half. So now, yes. So now you're gonna divide these into I think that's a good size.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So-
And then they are. Ta-da. Try that. All right. Now what it says.
Brush of dessert with beaten egg and sugar. But they don't tell you how long to bake them.
Do they not?
Nope. Wait, I know a way around this.
Gotta love these old recipes. They say throw it in the oven. It's gonna be fine.
13 to 15 minutes.
Well, okay. So we're using another recipe that says once you make these things, do 13 to 15 minutes. Now we're using the gluten-free Meyer lemon scones by Sticky Fingers, and these are really good. So if you don't have time to do all this didn't take that long. But if you don't have time to put together, scratch, you can buy these things. They're not very expensive.
Oh, and it's at the same degree too. Yes.
Okay, so that's another good reason. You cook that at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius. And they literally didn't say that, did they? No. Brush if desired with beaten egg and sugar. May the force be with you.
Good luck. Hope you know how long to do scones for.
All right, we are going to use the egg wash.
All right.
For our scones. Yes, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the egg wash first, and then what we're gonna do is, because this is Easter and pastels are the thing, we are going to put on sprinkles. And most of the sprinkles we're gonna use are actually colored sugar, but there's also little pastel stars over there.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is yellow and blue, and then maybe I'll add some stars.
I think that's a great plan. I think that's a great plan. Oh, that's quite lovely
Yeah.
with those funky. Those are a lot darker than I thought they'd be.
I agree.
Oh,
that was fun.
big old chunk of sugar. I could just spit out a.
We could always take the cap off.
We could, but I only want a little at a time, you know?
Yeah.
We, of course, live at 6,300 feet of elevation, so, you know, it takes a little longer to cook everything, but we're going to start at 14 minutes, and we're going to bake our scones, our brightly colored and pastel star scones. San Juan scones with a little Muir zing. And since we're just winging this and we don't actually know how much time they actually take, we're gonna do it for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. And we'll see how they come out. So we'll see you soon. Nice. Okay. True to form, this recipe also doesn't tell you how long to cool them, or how to store them, or what to do with them. So, knowing what I do about scones in general is what I would do is I would turn off your oven, like she did, and I would let them cool for 20 minutes. Just so that they're handleable, you know, where you don't burn your fingers. I would let them cool, and then we will try them at that time, and we'll show what they look like when you break them apart, and then they won't burn your fingers off. Leave them on the pan, leave them on the wire rack, or you could, you know, wait 3 minutes, take them off the pan and stick them on the wire rack directly, but I'd still do about 20 minutes of cooling, and then we'll try them. Again, we're kind of winging it, in addition to these being gluten-free, but also because she didn't tell us the amount of time to bake them,
Or to cool them.
or how to store them. Although I would say that once they're cool, store them in an airtight container, and my guess is they will last for a few days. Now, if you're doing a brunch sort of thing, like for Easter, they won't last. They won't last. The way they smell, they're going to be delicious. Don't you think?
Mm.
Yeah, the way they smell, they're going to be absolutely lovely. So we'll see you in about 20 minutes, and we'll show you what they look like when they're cool. Okay, so, yeah, it's not hot at all. Can you break it apart?
Yeah. Look at that.
Ooh, it smells really good. Go ahead, take some, yeah.
Oh, and it's nice and crumbly too. I think they could be just a tiny bit sweeter.
Well, it says, how about 4 tablespoons of sugar? Like a quarter of a cup of sugar?
Yeah.
I think so too. But the nice thing about them is they're light and flaky, and you could probably drizzle honey over them, or with jam, or agave syrup.
Oh, sweet.
We could probably put Nutella on them too. The idea is,
Why not try it?
agave syrup is basically honey from agave plants.
But it's not as sweet, which is good.
It's not.
Not quite, no. I'll test it, why not?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot more than I thought I was gonna do. Yeah? So these are gonna be really nice scones for kind of like a biscuit almost. It's not terribly sweet, but you get to add the sweet things to it, whether it's agave nectar, which would be like, or honey, or jam, or something like that. And then you eat it with other things because, but the sugar on top helped.
Yeah. But like if you get like the first little like top half, that's sweet, and then the other half, it's like, okay, well, there's no more sugar left, so.
You could probably just put butter on it too if that's what you prefer. Those turned out really well.
Yeah.
So San Juan scones are a go, even gluten-free, and you definitely want to bake them 13 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius. Not that she told us that, we just figured it out. So I do think it's a success, and the colored sugar does help. So, all right, yay! Whew. Good for winging it. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Definitely ring the bell to find out when there's new videos up. Like and comment on the video. Subscribe to the channel, and let us know if you tried them and what you did that makes it different. You know, did you add different colored sugar?
Did you not forget the lemon peel?
Did you add the lemon peel that we didn't? But again, it was optional.
It was optional.
It was optional.
You can also tell us what you want us to try gluten-free. Like maybe you have your own recipe that you like us to try.
Right. And
let us know.
Yeah, you can email us and send us the recipe, and we'll try it on camera. Wouldn't that be fun? But anyway, I think that's it, right? Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. Bye.